Hi, I'm Mike,
And I'm Justin.
and we are going to give you a little brief rundown on duty officers in Star Trek Online. First things first, the duty officer tab is right here in the mini map. That little icon right there. Now, if you go to your overview tab, you'll actually see that there are a few things going on here. I actually have 84 out of 100. You can actually increase your roster by paying money or using C store points, and I'm too cheap to do that. So, first thing I want to explain is how to use a duty officer to improve your character. Now, if you look here, I have 5 active space and 5 active ground. I'll go through those real quick. I click on View Space, and these are the 5 different officers that are now bound to me. You see these little lock icons, and they actually give me buffs. Like this guy gives me a chance to reduce the recharge time for my torpedoes, which is actually handy in the space combat. Recharge time for deflector abilities. Just so you know, when you use these guys and you put them into that area, they will get a little lock icon, just like these guys. They can't be traded or sold at that point. They're bound to you. And I know I got some other ones here, like I have that one right there. And some of them come to you bound, some don't. There are certain quests that you can get, or quests they can really get. If you go to your assignments tab and current sector, you'll see in here that I have a very short list. They need red dot means you can't use it at that point because either don't have the officer, you don't have. In this case, I don't have provisions. You also have shipboard assignments that they can do. And let me go to Earth Space Dock real quick to go ahead and show you where to find the ones. There are assignments that will actually allow you to increase your duty officer count. You basically start off with 20, I think, at a level 7. And these guys get you XP and extra bonus crap the whole way through. Let's go back to Earth.
Kind of turns into a Facebook game from then.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it's kind of handy to level if you're leveling 2 characters, though. I was leveling my Klingon, and this guy leveled like 8 or 9 levels in a row just by doing duty officers, and I never even touched him except for to log in and click around, so it's a lot like Facebook games at some point. Now, there's actually multiple places where you'll get special assignments that'll get you more duty officers, and that's the big thing most people don't understand, is that you can actually get more without having to pay money. Now, you notice here my current sector, my shipboard lists are a lot longer, and if I actually go to Earth Space Dock, go there first. I'm gonna dock there. If I go here, they're going to have a different list. Every time you go to a different sector or a different area, you're going to have a different sector list and a different shipboard list, depending on where you're at. Like if you're in Romulan territory, you'll actually be able to track Romulan fleet movements and track Raymond fleet movements, as opposed to tracking the Klingons in their area. Make sense so far?
Yeah.
Good. I need a faster computer.
And another milkshake.
Be quiet if you make it. Okay, so here I am at Earth Space Dock, and I'm going to check my list now and see it's totally different. Now this is the assignment that you actually want to find, like Civil Corps recruitment. Anytime you get the current sector one, and it says recruitment at the bottom, you just go ahead and double click it. If it says start assignment and there's nobody here and there's nobody over here, then that means it's going to get you some new duty officers. And when they come like this, if you have 2 icons like this, it'll actually make them bound to you when you start it up. I believe it does. Pretty sure it does. So I'm going to start that assignment because that'll get me some more duty officers. I actually have some in progress. The cadre here, this is another one that's going to give me 2 more people. These guys are going to be specifically engineering. And these guys will probably be civilian sorts because they have different type of recruitment names, cadres and stuff like that. And I have some completed assignments. I had a cadre here. Let me go and open up my inventory so we can see that properly. This should give me 2 people, and what we're going to see is something pop up right here in this area. If I go collect rewards, it gave me 2 different people, Eves and J. Modesto Koritsky. Let's go double check those people real quick and see exactly where they are, see if they're bound or not. Alright, now we gotta find them. Jay should be easy. He's got a really short name. Or Eves, I mean. Got the wrong friggin' name. Tell me if you see Eves. Such a long list. Holy crap.
There it is.
Okay, there's Eves. Okay, so it doesn't bind it, so never mind that part. So they're not bound, which is really handy, but you can trade these guys and sell them if you wanted to. And I'll show you that in a minute. But let me go back to my assignments. Now there's another type of thing which you'll find, it's not a cadre thing, it's more of a bridge officer. And I can actually go into that in another video, so I'll skip that for now. Let's go back to current sector and shipboard, and of course they changed from the sector space I was in. And let's go ahead and beam to Starfleet Academy, because we'll have a different set down there as well. And I've actually gotten some of these cadre things in sector space. It's just very rare. It's a lot more common in Earth Space Dock and Starfleet Academy. Of course, if you are on the Klingon side, it'll be Kronos. I can't remember how to pronounce it. First City and the Academy there. So those are the same things. It's just, you know, their version. Okay, there's nothing over here at all. So, all right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and beam back to sector space. So we can go through that real quick and show you a few things. Alright, let me get a little bit away from Sol System here because it's annoying to have all these little pop-up craps. Alright, let's go ahead and go through the actual assignments they can do. Now if you look here, we have some rare, we have some uncommon, and we have some regular. Now of course the higher end ones are going to get you more experience. If you look between the four icons over here, my dilithium ore is the same, but my diplomacy XP and the bridge officer and my skill points all go up when I go to uncommon. Now if I go to uncommon to rare, they go up even more. And plus this one has a chance to get something fancy. Now if you look at these different things like critical success, failure, and disaster, they all play into effect when you're talking about casualty risk and, you know, rewards. Right now, if I took this this particular assignment, it's going to require I have a security and any other officer. Okay. Now, if you look, it says efficiency and telepathic and unscrupulous will give me more critical success percentage. So if I go ahead and this guy's telepathic, so if I go ahead and double-click him...
You're going to want that 5%. Ooh, that 10% increase right there.
Yeah, the 10% increase. We'll get to that in just a second. Now, security officer, let me go and back this guy out real quick. Now, it also says success of security officers. I'm going from 554 to 765, because that guy had both telepathic and security officer. Now, the critical success over here is the same thing. Efficient, telepathic, and scrupulous. Well, actually, it's different. No, it's the same. It's unscrupulous and security officer. So if I chose a security officer that's telepathic, I will actually increase both the critical success and the regular success. And you notice it decreases the failure and disaster rate. You can actually get that disaster rate down to 0 depending on who you pick. So let's go ahead and take this guy because he's going to be a little bit better right there. Now the 10% and the blue, green, and purple guys, if you see the green, it's going to increase your quality reward bonus. So that's 5% right there, as opposed to my 10%. Okay. Now critical success right here, the 7% chance is actually going to double basically everything you get here. So if I do this and my guys hit critical with it, I'll get 10 dilithium ore, 742 of those, 610 of those, and I don't know, is that 546 of skill points? So it's pretty handy to use this because you actually get experience with a lot of these, and it helps you out because, you know, if you don't feel like leveling or if you can't level all the time and stuff, I went from 11 to 19 easily by just doing these things, and I only had, at the time, 20 on my roster. Now, it wasn't until somebody actually told me about those cadre things where you can get more, and the icon ends up looking like this in your inventory. They usually have a pack of 3 to 5, and they have a couple whites, maybe a blue, maybe a green type of thing. But it wasn't until somebody told me about that I was able to get it up to 86. Now back to assignments. We're going to go ahead and assign some people to this real quick so I can get this one going. Now, I don't care about the 10%. That's not going to matter to me much. I'd rather go for critical success. So I'm going to go ahead and put this person there. And oops, that's why it's not going. Still clicked on that. So now I got a 9% chance there, 76 there. Now, when you get down to the disaster, if your disaster is at 1%, there's a 1 in 100 chance of having a casualty, medium risk. Now, if this is 0, you're not going to have any casualty risk, even though it might say high. There are some exceptions because some things on the Klingon side will actually, you execute a person for incompetence. And that's kind of fun to do because you just get tired of some people. And I've actually had people that had failed, assignment after assignment after assignment. It just drove me nuts, so I just killed them instead of selling them or something. Who needs the 15,000 energy credits, huh? All right. Now let's go ahead and see if I can find one that's a higher rate of disaster. Alright, let's find this one. Let's go ahead and do the science one real quick. Now, if we look here, of course, we got the same generic stuff that I was talking about. We have a gravimetric scientist, and that's right there. So he's going to increase the regular success.
If you end up going into neutral or hostile space, is where you actually get the medium and high risk.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look at our sector real quick. We are currently in the Sirius sector block. Sol's right here, and if I just go a little bit north is what I call it, we'll get into the Romulan and Riemann territory. So we're going to buzz over there real quick. And every time you go to a different sector, it actually changes what you have available to you. But there's this 4-hour sector update. If I waited 3 hours, 31 minutes and stuff, these would all be different. Well, there might be some same ones, but they'd be refreshed and there'd be some new ones. My shipboard ones would get replaced every hour. So my shipboard ones are different now than they were in the last sector. But the current sector is giving me less options. And it's not giving me the ones I want. So we're going to keep flying, keep going a little bit north while I explain a few more things. We have here what's called an assignment log. This is just basically all the assignments, well, not all of them, but just the most recent ones. It'll tell you what happened on those assignments, if they're success or not. And I had a railroad right here, and it gave me 300 energy credits and all these different things here. Like I said, the ones you want are the cadre ones, because this gives you extra people. Let me go ahead and take care of this one real quick. Basically, if you have an assignment to evaluate a whatever race, whatever position bridge officer, these are the guys you actually take on your away teams and stuff. So now I got this guy, or girl, I don't know, what the hell is that? I'm going to say not now, but where's my list? If we go to stations on our list, I actually have a bunch of them sitting here. I don't use them that often, and notice I've got a bunch of purples because the more that's from hitting the criticals and stuff. That's from hitting the critical success on those particular assignments. But I have all these different bridge officer candidates, and I don't use them. All right, now we're going to go to a different sector here. And that finally went up there. And we're going to see what they have here for us. So current sector. Okay, I got an espionage, but what's going on with this? I don't have the required duty officer. Well, I can't do that then, now can I? All right. Now, there are a couple times when you actually would lose crew members. If you... this resettled colonist will help me pick up 5 people, 5 civilians and stuff. And if you drop them off another planet, you lose them. So I'm going to get 5 people with this. And let me go ahead and see if I can go ahead and get a good percentage on this. I'm going to go ahead and put 3 people on there. I'm going to get 20% quality reward bonus.
Success.
100%, yeah. I mean, it's a 0 disaster. I mean, let's go ahead and take those guys off. Did it go up all the way, or did it start off that way? All right, I got a 9%. So, okay, so one of these guys made it so it was not just one guy. And because he's quartermaster, that helped him with the success, and it was enough to go ahead and remove disaster. So nobody will die on this mission. It's pretty much a guarantee. Gotta remember how to double click. I don't want that guy, I want that guy. So I got a 20% quality reward bonus. So all this stuff's going to be increased by 20% when this is done. And I'll start this assignment, and let me go back to my roster. Passengers of 15. You can only have a maximum of 20 passengers, so after that mission is complete, I'll have 20, and basically I have to drop these people off, or there's actually assignments for that, or I can dismiss them. And let's go ahead and, these guys are ugly. I hate these guys. Squid face. Okay, so now I have 14. Okay, so I have a little bit more room and stuff, but they come in groups of 5 and they go in groups of 5. And for right now, I only have 100 maximum on my roster. But while I'm here, let's go ahead and go over something real quick. If you see an icon like this instead of a picture, that means they're doing something. I believe these ones are the space icons, and these are the ground icons. So this guy's on a, oh, he's managing space tasks, and this person's evaluating human tactical bridge officer applicant. Those usually take about 24 hours, so I have 35 hours left on that one. So I'll get another bridge officer pretty soon. All right. See if I got any others. So yeah, this person's on assignment. This person's on reserve, which means they ain't doing nothing. So gotta find some work for them. But see, every time you get an icon like this instead of a picture, they're doing something. All right. Okay, from the overview tab, if we look at the different ranks, you get experience for each assignment. Like right here, this will be some science XP, so 43. Let's go and set somebody up with this. So if they complete that, I will get 43 science. And I currently have 1702. And every time you level up in one of these things, you start at rank 0, you hit rank 1, you get a new title, you get an accolade, which is an achievement. You get to select a single green quality duty officer. And I'll go ahead and pop over to my other video in a second here to go ahead and show you what that is. Okay, when you level up a certain specialty for assignments and stuff, you get these guys that allow you to go ahead and get accommodation XP. Click the store option and go into the, for me it's actually on the trade tab, so I'm going there real quick. And here's a list of the guys I can get. If you look at the on the bottom right corner of each one of their entries and stuff, it has a 1 with a that's blue or white, whatever the hell the color is and stuff, instead of red. Red means it's next level up, and I only have one combination like you can see in the bottom left corner of this window. So I can actually pick one of these people, and since I'm an engineer, I'm going to take the person that reduces recharge time for combat supply, that Ken and Nuya guy, and I'll hit requisition, and it'll put that guy into my my duty officer list so I can use him. And I can actually equip him if I want to. And what am I missing? Anything else you don't know about this stuff that you could know? I mean, you can go in here if you didn't like one of these things. You can abort an assignment and stuff. It's not going to kill the people and stuff, but you won't get any rewards. You just could use them again if you'd like. But what am I missing?
What's department heads? Never mind.
Ah, that's a good question. Department heads. Okay, this is where you take your actual bridge officers, these guys over here, and I just name mine generic names because, you know, I'm sick of memorizing names. So they actually use their real names in here, which is funny, but you can pick your, you know, number 1 officer, your first officer. This was Riker on Star Trek The Next Generation and stuff, so this will be your Riker position. This person will give you the best recommendations, and if you have this checked, they'll actually autofill the rest of this stuff. If you don't, you can just select it. Either way, you can just select it and pick who you want. So let me go ahead and change this up, just because I have 2 tactical guys. 1 science, and I have 2 different engineers. So these are my different people. These are people that if you go to your assignments, depending if it's espionage, which is tactical, medical, which is science, they'll go ahead and give you recommendations on who to pick. Like we double click here. And we've got all these different people listed. Oh, that's what it does. Okay. Haha. So I don't have it checked right now. I always wonder what that did. I don't have the enable first officer recommendations checked, so when I double click on something, I got a list of things. If I have it checked and I go back to that and I double click on it, they're going to say, hey, you need engineering and operations people. So according to them, I should.
So it's really better just to have it checked.
It's better to have it checked that way, unless you know what you're doing and stuff, and you want something specific. I mean, I got a 18% failure rate on this thing, but no casualty risk, so I'm good. But You could end up... I've lost people on assignments because I didn't pay attention to what they said. I just ignored it, because you can always double click and just go display entire reserve roster. This is ignoring what they said, but these are the people that are eligible for this. So I've actually lost people. So if I had a 1% here and a low, I have a 1% chance of triggering this, and either they'll be hurt or they won't be. Okay, so now I got 0%, so they're all safe.
High is pretty much a guaranteed death.
High is pretty much a guaranteed death. I mean, if you have any percentage in there and it says high or extreme, have you seen the extremes yet?
I've only seen high.
Yeah, there's extremes, you know, and it's
And the only high I hit was like a 1%. I got that unlucky hit.
I've had that happen too many times. It's just like, you know. All right, let's go ahead and fill out my stuff here, because why not? Now here's the funny part. On stuff like mapping chronoton particle traces, and this is just like sciencey crap. This is like, you know, go press a button and scan for life forms or scan for something. And sometimes there's actually a casualty risk. You know, I understand failing it, like
well,
it
the
didn't
button
scan right.
explodes.
Yeah, it must. I don't know. It's some of this stuff is kind of stupid. But let me go ahead and
They could press the wrong button and cause like a nuclear meltdown.
yeah, one of the good things to know is that you can only have 20 assignments at any given time, and there's only one exception to that, and that's when your people are in sick bay. If you have people that they do have, you know, they do fail, and there is a casualty risk, they can get injured or killed if that's triggered. So if they're injured, they go to sick bay.
And then they have a cooldown time of when you can use them.
Yep. And see if anybody's in sick bay right now. I have nobody in sick bay, so I'm good. I think my Klingon does. All right. Let's make sure I covered everything. I think I did. What do you think I did?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, here's just my list of people. Whatever. You can get prisoners. Ooh, request duty officers. Well, let's cover this real quick. Now, 580 C points. I don't know how many dollars that is in real life. That's probably $7. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But you can increase your roster slots. I mean, I have a maximum of 100. So I might actually have to do this soon if I want to keep doing this. But you can increase it with 580 C points by 100, or 25 for 180. Or for 220, you can buy a duty officer pack. And these things, I don't want to click that. I wanted to see exactly what it's going to say. Okay, it'll come with 4 common officers, 2 uncommon or better, which is greens and blues, and 1, you know, purple or better. I mean, wait, is that purple? I don't know.
It's like buying Pokemon cards.
Yeah, it's buying Pokemon cards. Exactly what it is. And those guys show up over here, and that you can actually sell these for energy credits, but energy credits are pretty easy to get. Of course, dilithium is easy to get, and using dilithium, you can buy C points. That's the current price right here. So if I went like this, 7708, it'd allow me to buy 40 C cryptic points. I'm actually going to do that. It's actually pretty low right now. Okay, we're waiting for it to accept my offer. Oh, I put it at 192. Ah, hell, we'll leave it there. Alright, I came to a different sector here. So I wanted to show you something real quick. Now, there are some assignments that say, you know, for trading stuff, you barter gold pressed latinum for, you know, whatever thing. It doesn't really matter and stuff. Now, gold pressed latinum can be won by playing Dabo on K7 or Deep Space Nine. I haven't been to any other places, but you can pop up the map real quick, the galaxy map. Now, if you're a Klingon, your home planet's right here. The closest one is Deep Space K7. Okay. Now, if you are Federation, that's pretty much the closest one as well, unless you get to a higher level, which allows you to go through the Orion sector right here in Sirius Block over to Deep Space Nine. Now, if you play the Dabo and you win and stuff like that, this is where your gold pressed latinum shows up. I have none on this character. So if I had 18, I could assign somebody to this and actually get, I think it's 10 of whatever item it is right here, shield generators or entertainment provisions. So that's, you know, when you'd have to use special things and stuff. Also, when you get certain things like, I mean, these are the chemicals, you know, the crafting items that you need to be able to do crafting. And I'm not going to go over that right now, but if you get stuff like this, like the water purification, weather control, all these different things, they look just like, you know, like a deck of cards, but Those are used for certain quests or assignments, or sometimes you'd need them for, dropping off, instead of using 1800 gold price platinum, you'd use 10 of these or 3 of these plus some energy credits, which are right here. That's basically your cash. Okay. Right here in this one, relocate colonists. Right here, this would actually, it's like I was talking earlier, these colonists will be removed permanently from your passenger space, which if we go back to my roster, we look at the passengers. I have 14 left because I just missed one, but if I did this and I had 5 provisions, which I don't think I do, I don't have any provisions whatsoever, but if I had 5, I also have one of the medical supplies already. It's right there. And then I can assign 5 colonists. And disaster usually doesn't happen with this by the time you assign the people, because how hard is it to settle them on a different planet? Because, it's the Federation, it's the future, it should be pretty easy. You can actually get these commodities from commodity brokers on different space stations. They have some in Earth Space Dock and Kronos, and there are also some on Deep Space K7. Pretty much any place you can actually walk around and not be shot at. I mean, you can find some. And I just got a assignment completed. Okay, good. This one actually came up. This is one of those cadre ones that I was talking about, where instead of getting individual officers, you get the group. So I'm going to go ahead and collect the reward on that one. Now, if you look, let me go ahead and, how many do I have? I have 86. So this is going to contain a few people. I can actually sell these. These go for like 250,000 energy credits. Or you can go ahead and right-click it and use it, or double-click it, and it'll, boom, pop up. These are the guys that were in mine. I had 3 whites and 2 greens. So these guys are now available for me to use. So you come back over here, I now have 91. So I can go back to my assignments and stuff, and I can actually, if they pop up, I think that was one of them right there. And start assignments and stuff, and just keep on going. And every time you do this, every time you complete one, you get experience, of course, like I said before. And like my son said, it's basically like a Facebook game. You just log in and click some stuff, and it should be good enough. I got no more here, so I'm going to go ahead and show you my Klingon stuff real quick. Okay, here I am on my Klingon, and we're going to check out his assignments that he's got complete. Got 1 complete so far. Prepare baked tribble for captain. That's always fun. Collect that. And my baked tribble goes down here. I already have some. Basically what happens is when a tribble gets hungry, they eat your provisions, different foods they have, and that's like the only food I have right now. And then they become a cannibal tribble. Now the cannibal tribble eat the regular tribbles, or even the uncommon or even popular ones. You don't want to keep these guys in your inventory for too long unless you want them to eat tribble. And when they do, they leave a tribble carcass. Now I wonder if their quest is available. There's actually, only for the Klingon side is there a bounty for the carcasses. If you have 10 of these things, it'll give you a little bit of bonus. Let me see if I can actually pull that up. It might be back at Kronos or the first city. Now Federation has it easy. When they get to Sol System, they just go ahead and full impulse, and 1, 2, 3 you can dock. Not the Klingons, we got screwed. I had to keep going and going and going and going. There we go. Beam to first city. Now let's see if they have the bounty one down here. Okay. Let's see if they have it for me. Come on. Triple bounty. There it is. 10 of them. Any officer can do it. And I get 1470 energy credits. Ah, that sucks. But I get 100 trade XP. And that's not bad. Now one thing you might notice is that sometimes these guys will have something that increases your failure rate, and that's never good. So if I had a stubborn or unruly, go ahead and pull one of those guys up. I gotta have one. Oh, maybe not in this one. But if you have something that says in red, you want to stay away from that because it'll increase your failure rate, especially if you have a casualty risk. That's like one of the worst things you could do. Oh yeah, these guys will all make it worse. Oh, these are colonists. And they'll be permanently removed from my roster. Notice my failure rate's going up, so is my disaster. 9% and 40. pretty good chance that something bad's going to happen, but these are all colonists, and they're useless to me except for to execute for the fun of it. So we got rid of those guys real quick. Now let's go ahead and there's no special things that I can do right now. This kind of sucks. Let's go down to the academy. See what they got down there for me. I want to execute somebody just for the fun of it. Alright, here we are at the Klingon Academy, and my shipboard stuff's still the same, my current sector. Let's go ahead and see. Ooh, Imperial Engineering Officer Call for Heroes. This is one that's going to get me 2 more guys. Because you see it has nobody that you're supposed to assign to it, and it just says start assignment. So anytime it says that, that's exactly what you want to increase your roster count. Let's go back to that. Good thing I came down here. Start assignment. So in 2 days I'll have 2 more engineering related duty officers. Alright, one last thing I wanted to explain to you about duty officers and stuff and the levels for their specializations. If you're trying to get into the opposing factions territory, like the regular sector block is still open territory for the Federation, but the Sirius sector block where Vulcan and Sol are, I'm not allowed to go to those because I'm a Klingon. And likewise, the Federation characters and ships are not allowed to go into the Omega Leonis block. See, I can't get into Sirius, these 3 right here, and they can't get in here. Unless, as Klingon, it's called marauding, and for Federation, it's diplomacy. If you get to level 5, for me it's marauding. For, like I said, for the, this is right here. You must be marauder to enter this sector block. Powers earned by using duty officers to do marauding assignments. So right here, my marauding, you have to be marauder. So rank 4, basically it's the 5th rank. You start at 0, so the 5th one you get when you get 100,000 experience points through this. You get to be marauder, you know, the achievement and title, and you can go to transwarp to Cardassian space. That's kind of neat. That'd be kind of nice to know. And you also get the ability to enter the other faction's territory. Now, I haven't gotten that far, and I don't know anybody that has. There's likely a lot of people that have, because I've seen ships of opposing factions and stuff, but I have no clue if it gives you any benefit to skills or quests in those areas. I have no clue, but I know for Klingons, it'll make it faster to get to Cardassian space, but at that point, you can just transwarp to Cardassian space, and you wouldn't have to go all the way through here to the Furry sector, then come down to Cardassia. You know, you just go and zoom through here like normal, pop up one, pop over one, and you're there. I mean, any which way you look at it, it's about the same distance, but it's just a bit more inconvenient for me. But yeah, that's basically it. I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave comments, questions, and I'll be sure to answer them. Thanks.